Hello, it's Cryptolyze. I hope you are well on this, Tuesday, 21 November, 2023. It is with pleasure that we meet today to talk about CRO, the crypto of crypto.com. So as usual, we're going to dissect this video into two parts. A fundamental part, we will come back to what is CRO, to what is crypto.com &GT, on what is CRONOS, the blockchain which is behind crypto.com, and then we will go into the technical part on the graphs to project only in the medium long term on purchase prices, sale prices. Given the bullish acceleration that we have had in recent days, it is important to take stock and we start together. As a reminder, you always have the possibility of having free access to the educational course, which is a 60-hour training worth €400, which allows you to learn blockchain, crypto, investment, analysis technique, trading, everything to become profitable. Through 130 videos, 400 pages of guides, quizzes to find out where you are in your progress, and all for free. To have access to this lifelong training, simply use the platform of one of our partners. Everything is explained in the comments and descriptions. When we talk about CRO, we have to talk about Crypto.com, which is the exchange behind the CRONOS blockchain, behind the CRO token. And it's an exchange that got a lot of attention in 2021-2022 with the launch of its credit card, with behind its application, the application which is also one of the best applications for being able to buy and sell crypto, but not necessarily trading. It is really an application which is not linked to any form of broker. Not talk about it, but which is rather a truly crypto management tool in which we will find everything from a classic exchange where we can buy, sell, in which we have an integrated wallet. We have earning, which is present, and we has credit cards. These credit cards, which have been talked about a lot, we're going to find them again. They are here, in which we had big rewards, and in particular a huge cashback which was in CRO. That is to say that the more we bought, the more we had a percentage. Important to be able to recover part of what we had purchased in CRO. We also had other advantages like free Netflix, things like that, and always reimbursed in CRO, hence the interest of CRO for the exchange. It was a promotional marketing tool, and as soon as there was the bear market which arrived, the crisis really in crypto which arrived. Well, overall, the rewards were divided by 2 or even 3 for some, with 2 advantages which jumped, so that caused a huge outcry at the time, and we also had other things that were reduced, such as the entire earning part. That is, before we had rates that could go up to 14-15 on the top of the market, and we are now on 155. Namely that it is according to the CRO that we have stacked, and it is the rewards which are distributed in CRO particularly. So we are always very careful in relation to that, because it means that we have downward pressure on. At the CRO level, we have a role at the CRO level, at the exchange level, but it's a promotional role, okay? So we need to understand the impact between the two and the relationship between the two. Next to it, we have the CRO, which is used in CRONOS. So because we have the CRO, the representation of the CRO and the use of the CRO by the Crypto.com exchange, but we have the use of the CRO in the blockchain who is behind it, who is CRONOS. CRONOS, therefore, which is a blockchain, which is a layer 1, therefore, which aims to quite simply create tools for developers to build decentralized applications on the public blockchain. And uses CRO as currency, in fact the gas fee to pay transaction fees and the various costs linked to the use of the blockchain. Next, we find ourselves on CRONOS, which is therefore a layer 1 as I told you, and which is EVM compatible. That means that it accepts all the pieces of code which are in Solidity, all the smart contracts which were developed on Ethereum or on any blockchain that is EVM compatible, and therefore it joins the family of EVM compatible. So, is CRONOS interesting? I think that CRONOS is a rather classic blockchain from the one era with a desire behind it at one point to be an Ethereum killer. But that was never the case, and it was in fact the birth for me of CRONOS, which is a Binance BIS saying, well, okay, Crypto.com said to itself, I'm going to do like Binance, I'm going to launch my own blockchain, my own crypto, and I'm going to try to create an ecosystem around that to facilitate accessibility to finance. Decentralized directly through Crypto.com and CRONOS. The problem is that it didn't happen in the same way. We don't have it all the same TVL, we don't have it all the same seniority, and besides we still have a number of commits, a number of developers which is relatively low as it stands. We have applications that are arriving because CRONOS not long ago, we don't forget, was in beta, in main beta. That means that they were deployed in production, and that it remained. Beta because it was not yet a final build, so implied a final version. That's it. It's over. Now we're in the final version. However, it is a blockchain which is quite recent and which is quite centralized in terms of nodes. Then you will tell me it is like BNB chain. Yes, I completely agree. We are in the same schematic, except that next to Crypto.com versus Binance, we still have two measurement points and the same in terms of volume. Of the BNBC chain. BNBC chain was very quick in its evolution to be able to recover all the volume that could not be done on Ethereum at the time when we were in full bull run, and now they have started to improve things with OPBNB and ZKBNB, which is not necessarily the case at the level of CRONOS. So when we compare the two, and we are obliged to compare the two because CRONOS was created as being in any case an opposite to the BNB chain, and we see that unfortunately this is not necessarily the case. Will this continue to persist? I think because we have Crypto.com and CRONOS and the blockchain that is used by Crypto.com, so that means that the majority of funds that are stacked, the majority of funds that pass through their blockchain to limit costs, and what is rather normal at the same time is their infrastructure, which makes it available to the public. Personally, I think that Crypto.com will continue to exist, and that CRONOS behind it will continue to exist too. Besides the CRO, which is the crypto of all this, is at 85. It's a little changed, but we are around 85 of supply and circulation. And we are on a diluted market cap, which will be around 2 billion currently with the increase in price. So we are still in something which is rather well priced, which is neither overpriced nor underpriced when we look at the other ecosystems. And above all, we know that we have an interest in the CRO level, which is supported by Crypto.com, It is certain that when we arrive in a much stronger form of bull run, Crypto.com will resume communication, its marketing tools. They showed that they were very strong in marketing, and I can assure you that the CRO will be at the center of these marketing tools and the marketing valorization of Crypto.com, and therefore behind it, I think that we will have things to watch out for at the CRO level. Moreover, in terms of the technical part, what is interesting in terms of CRO is that we are in something which is rather classic, with an accumulation phase, a bullish acceleration phase, which has had place towards the end of the 2021 bull run, and then we have a classic three-step retracement A, B, C to arrive in a zone that we know very well, which is the accumulation zone, which is the spot zone, in which we are working in this part too, despite the fact that we and GT was still in something that was very descending. As I told you, we couldn't actually establish a low where we were systematically in lower and lower lows. And that's it. We have a break. Finally, here we have broken this high too by partially consolidating above. We did not manage to consolidate sufficiently. We are in the process of retracing now, which is rather logical. And there currently, when we look, we have a huge candle. That is what? And got. This is FTX, okay? So this is the pressure that we saw at the market level on the exchanges, and we see that Crypto.com cannot return to the level of FTX, while many have managed to reconsolidate above. It is not the case at the level of Crypto.com, so despite the acceleration that we also have there, we have not made the necessary break. The necessary break is to go back to the level above FTX, okay? If we do not break down here the 0.12 or the 0.125 exactly, we do not in fact have a bullish starting consolidation. For me, it's happening here. It's happening there. As long as we don't consolidate above, we won't have a signal at the CRO level. We're no longer in a form of retracement here, or in any case taking liquidity, because all in all, we really look at the protected high. It is here. There we have a retest, and here we have a small retest, so we just took the liquidity. On this taking of liquidity, we can clearly see that we have a profit taking here. And we can clearly see that we are in the process of consolidating this week below. While we have a market which is rather on the rise, we have a market which is mostly bullish on all actions. So this clearly shows that despite the bullish acceleration that we have a CRO which is underperforming compared to the rest, and which is rather logical. As I told you, CRO is a crypto marketing tool.com, and as long as Crypto.com has not started its marketing or the valuation of its CRO from its offers, we will not have an upward acceleration. We will not have an upward impulse. And that is why we must once again pay attention and wait for the right information to validate an upward acceleration at the CRO level. In terms of targets, I think we can quite easily find the area here from January-March 2022, before Terra Luna, in which we will already have a very good profit taking. We will have a lot of people who will come out at that time, and then we will certainly look for a retest of the ATH initially. So a CRO in the vicinity of 1. And if we are in a big bull run that Crypto.com manages to cannibalize a large part of the volumes, we will necessarily have a lot of marketing which will arrive on the CRO, and we can have a form of very strong FOMO and evaluation of the Crypto.com card, which still remains one of the most interesting crypto cards in and GT. All cases in terms of use, ease of use, with a target of 1,618 with a CRO around 1.5. Once again, it's at the end of the bull run with a lot of Cs, so we take our time. As usual, we wait for confirmations, or we expose ourselves because if we are ever interested in this project, we remain in an interesting zone in terms of the spot zone in the long term if the project ever interests you. I hope you like this video. If so, don't forget to leave me a like and a comment. It always makes me very happy. And don't forget that we'll meet again for the second anniversary, Sunday 26, November at 20 live. YouTube. It is with pleasure that I will see you once again in a live to celebrate the 30,000 subscribers, and obviously also the 2 years of the channel.